Happy Flickin' Friday, friends. Welcome to the Swift Wing Speakeasy. Here, the only thing you can predict is a good time. We are your source for news, reviews, and daily discourse, typically. However, on Fridays, it's more often disaster and disorder than discourse. And joining me tonight, I do have Colin Morris to assist with our Kang watch analysis, talking about Quantumania. We're talking about James Gunn taking over at DC and joining the conversation as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of fandom. As always, if you want to support this channel as the world falls apart, please leave your questions and comments on our Streamlabs link that we have provided in the description of this video. Hey, what's going on? Jesse Swift and Colin Morris coming at you. As you can see, is not Sean Wingblade today. Sean was busy, Allison was busy, and so as per usual, when everybody's busy, you get a Colin. I'm just kidding. That's not how it works. It's Kang. We had to have Colin Morris on to talk about Kang. He started Kang Watch. I don't know. Do I get credit for saying on this channel?
No, I have to give it to Dan Casey on Nerdist, but like he never made a T-shirt, and so you can only do something so long without making money on it before it shows up on T Public, and it's about to be there. I'm just gonna make a shirt that says Kang Watch.
We're getting on that marketing. Look at teaser at our next graphic here. We're shills by day. We also have a Woke Shills Incorporated Flickin' Real shirt that you can now get on T Public. So that's cool stuff. We just figured enough people in the comments come after us for Little Mermaid and whatnot. We thought we'd capitalize on it.
No, Jesse, I feel like the guy that I feel like the Jim Cantori, for the Weather Channel, when there's a hurricane and they're like, who are we going to send into this crazy storm? Well, it's Jim Cantori. He's the only one. We're going to send this guy to the eye of the storm where it's the worst. Like, if that guy's in your town, you're fucked. If I'm here, Kang's here. So, it's about to go down. That's how I feel. Like, I'm the Kang specialist. When you need someone to talk about the future, the past,
the future of the future,
the now, it's all Kang all the time in my mind. Never stops.
Kangarang.
Kangarang. Oh, imagine a Skrillex remix, but it's Kangarang instead of Bangarang.
Work on it. Get it going. So this is not news and views where we break down the weekly news of the week, but there is weekly news this week that we kind of want to talk about right now. That being James Gunn and Peter Safran, I believe, are going to be headlining DC, the TV, movies, and animation divisions. Pretty much everything outside of comics. So just like, these Gunn is essentially, ironically, kind of going to be the Feige of the DC universe.
And if I understand Safran's history correctly, he is the producer behind most James Gunn and is the
James Gunn or James Wan?
Both.
Okay, yeah.
So he did the Suicide Squad for WB, and then he's been doing
all the Conjuring universe
for James Wan, which
DC
right
will be
in WB's wheelhouse, and I think if you look at the landscapes that have at least been experimental over the last 15 years, I feel like horror is the most experimental. We've gotten into things that, like, I'm not a horror person, but I can recognize when it's different. The Conjuring is definitely a reflection of the prior 30 years of horror genre, and then redefined it into a new deal where it separated itself from the paranormal activities and stuff like that, and it became a franchise that's spawned off like Annabelle, right? Like, I'm not a horror person, but like you see it all the time, and you see James Wan's name on it.
Right.
and
So
Saffron's behind all of it.
Saffron's not a
So
stranger to building universe. This will be like, granted, like you said, he was involved with the Suicide Squad, but this will really be like his second universe under WB working with. So he's definitely he's a businessman. He is a relationships person, which is things that are important. As Scout About says, Saffron produced Aquaman, Aquaman 2, Shazam,
and
Shazam 2.
Shazam.
So he's already working on it. He's already in
Totally.
there. Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, and a lot of those are some of my favorite DC content. We're talking about Shazam, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, great stuff. So James Gunn and him don't really have to start fresh. They already have an established working relationship, and these are things that are good. And I had to check myself a little bit when this was first announced. I was like, hey, big lover of the Suicide Squad. I don't want that flavor necessarily to be the entire DC universe, but he's not directing everything. He's going to be the relationship guy. He's going to be the point and shooter. And so many things in Marvel, despite having one head producer, have different flavors and different vibes. So if they feel James Gunn is the guy for that, all the power to them. I'm really excited and curious to see how this shakes out because they have tried and failed multiple times to make somebody the head of DC, whether it be like Jeff Johns or like Walter Hamada. And like, it's always not quite there, but James Gunn's the most like inundated in this world that they've ever had in this position. He's produced before, he's worked under and with Kevin Feige, and everyone's like, how do you find another Kevin Feige? Find somebody that's worked with him. That's the closest you're going to get. And then now Zaslav, for all the whiffs he's making and bad decisions he's making, he's got Alan Horn, who helped shepherd the coming of the Marvel Universe and the acquiring of Lucasfilm and all that stuff. So he's making some smart business decisions.
Disney business.
Yeah. And James Gunn, we trust. Well, we have no reason not to so far.
So I look at this from an interesting perspective. I like to think of James Gunn as the Steve Jobs and Saffron as the Woz.
Okay.
And like James Gunn is like, I'm gonna sit here and yell into the void. And then Saffron's like, cool, I'm going to pick up the actual ideas that we can do. And there's some really great stuff there. And here's how we can actually produce it. When I look at the list of DC films that have come out post BVS, Aquaman and Shazam, in my opinion, are the most rewatchable, enjoyable. You know, you could throw
they're the two most fun. And that's what DC has so not acquired organically.
And I have not seen Black Adam. I am going in the morning.
I didn't care for it, but to each their own. I don't know if he was involved in Black Adam at all.
Fun, or you didn't? Were there fun moments, or just didn't enjoy?
There are fun moments in a kind of like muddy ball of dredge, where
like a movie that took 15 years to make.
Yeah, like it's
some like that's gonna happen.
It's not rewatchable because there's too much garbage in between the fun moments.
Oh.
Like not fun, bad.
Does it feel like a 2-hour-long episode of Smallville with no Superman and high budget?
Maybe, yeah. And
like
you know
the JSA special of Smallville, just like with no Superman and Black Adam.
That's what I'm talking about. Like I can't talk about it. We will.
I just nail it. I already know the thing at the end. Some guy at the bar told me Superman shows up. I fucking get it. All right.
Well,
and I also subscribe to Variety. So
also, The Rock's been telling you for 2 weeks. So like,
Rock literally went on Jimmy Fallon and was like, that cameo, like, bitch, it wasn't the Flash.
I'll tell you what. There's an actor cameo in the movie that I was more hyped about because DC's such a mess that I have a hard time getting excited for Henry Cavill's return, despite the fact that I've been the biggest advocate for Man of Steel for the last 9 years.
I love it.
So I'm like, I'm glad he's back, but I just like, man, I don't think the DC universe deserves him right now. But that's another.
I'd rather watch another season of The Witcher.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that too. You're gonna get that too.
He's a busy dude. He plays a lot of
dude.
World of Warcraft too, and there's an expansion coming out in about 14 days. Y'all better lock his ass down or get a dope PC in his trailer. You better hope there's an Ethernet cable going into that trailer.
When we inevitably get our World of Warcraft reboot, they're gonna put Henry Cavill starring?
No. You don't even need to do a reboot. It's not even a reboot. You just move forward. You just tell the Arthas story, and he can be Arthas. You can put it's literally Geralt without the ponytail. Just release the hair.
Right.
It's the same dude, same wig. Just take the ponytail out.
I'm a little tired of everyone being like, make him a Targaryen. I was like, because he's had
Get
white
the
hair in
fuck
another
outta here.
show.
No
Stop it.
way. No way.
Stop it.
He you see his chest? Have
Yeah.
you ever seen a Targaryen hit the gym?
That's big facts.
They are so cocky. They don't go to gym day. They go to dragon day. They're like, we don't do leg day. We do flying lessons and fire breathing.
Honestly, nobody in Westeros looks like Henry Cavill.
Sorry, I've been off the internet for like 2 months. I haven't been on a podcast in a minute. So
Hey,
like, so much nerd shit has happened that I realized, like, wow, is that the first time I mentioned that?
And we're gonna get into it, and I'm just gonna let everybody know this is gonna be a shorter episode of Speakeasy because things going on. But so we're gonna cap at about the 45-minute mark. But we're gonna cover some stuff. We just got 2 main topics. So we're gonna float back and forth there, and then talk about whatever else we're gonna, get into.
So let's stick to Gunn and Saffron. What do you want if you don't want Cavill? Right? Not that you don't want Cavill, but it's that like it feels like it's being forced. It feels like they brought the Brinks truck up and they were like, how much money do you want? And he was like, well, I got Netflix over here. They're literally raising subscriptions to pay me money. And we just sold WB to Discovery. What are we doing?
To me, it kind of feels like, not to the same degree, but you get to the end of Morbius and they're like, look, it's Michael Keaton. I'm like, I don't care. This was
Morbius.
This was bad. But it's like when you get the first Suicide Squad, I really didn't like that movie. And you get to the post-credit scenes, like, look, it's Ben Affleck starting to set up the Justice League. I'm like, that should be exciting, but I hated this movie, so it's not. And that's kind of how Black Adam was. I got to the end of Black Adam, I'm like, this doesn't help. This is not helping.
The thing that I've wanted, that I am somebody who has consumed all of the DC animated content.
I was for a long time.
That group of people earned a trust in me that
do you think
is unshaken. I will watch anything those people do because of the hits that I've seen. Misses, it's not even like a miss. They're like walks in baseball. It's like a 3-2 walk, and you take a walk. And you're like, oh, it's fine. You didn't get a hit, but it's still good to see.
I want to see if we're on the same page. I want to clarify for a second. Yeah. For me, with the recent animated stuff, I think they were on track and doing a lot of good stuff with their New 52 adjacent things.
Yes, 100%.
Their experimental releases have been hit and miss.
Like Teen Titans versus the Justice League.
Well, that was still in the future. That was in their New 52 storyline. So I'm talking
that counted. Teen Titans versus Justice League was a New 52, but the one that wasn't was that separate weird shit thing. What was the weird Justice League alternate reality thing they made around the same time?
Oh, I'm not sure which one that they've done a bunch of Batman ones. They did 2 Long Halloweens with Jensen Ackles, and
he was great.
There's Batman Ninja. The Killing Joke, the part of it that was actually the Killing Joke was pretty good. The 25 minutes they added before it was unbearable. I really hope they bring back the animated Young Justice. Young Justice still might be the best animated DC thing that's ever happened.
Young Justice is literally the greatest animated show besides Avatar: The Last Airbender of all time. Listen, I am literally on the ledge of taking a bullet for Young Justice every week. I would rather watch the end credits of Young Justice than go to therapy. Those are the last 2 seasons of Young Justice. The end credits
where you just get like a sleepy wolf.
Emotionally damaging things I have ever
I gotta get caught up, honestly.
How far behind are
you? Well, at risk of people that haven't seen it, little bit of.
I'm sorry. If it's 4 or 5, if it's season 4, you can spoil season 4. It came out in 2019. It was pre-COVID.
If it
came out on DC Universe, you can spoil it.
Have you watched? You ever watch a show and like something traumatic happens and you have to take a mental break? Okay, that happens in Young Justice, and I never.
At a wedding.
Yes, and I never got back a wedding on Mars, right?
You better get the fuck back on.
I know.
When people have to deal with that shit, when you watch the people you've given your emotional dignity to.
It was my animated red wedding. I wasn't good afterwards. I wasn't good. The credits hit, and I was like, I'm not okay. And I need to go back.
I've got some animes that are like that.
Sure.
7 Deadly Sins on Netflix has a moment in its last season.
Or you brought up The Last Airbender, freaking the Trials of Appa or whatever that episode is.
Oh, I could cut it right there. Also, as somebody who watched that on TV live, the release schedule is something that will never be seen in this world again. Like when Avatar: The Last Airbender was getting into those later seasons, or not even later seasons, but like 2, 3-ish, like in mid Earth Kingdom, the release was like, we're gonna give you 4 episodes on a Friday, and you're gonna like it.
Let's pull back to Gunn for a minute, because I feel like we still have some things to say about Gunn. We were talking about animation, which is, you say you actually don't.
No. I have so much because I love Peacemaker so much. Yeah. I love how bold that was. I hope how that in your face it was.
I hope James Gunn is the reason that Doom Patrol keeps going, because Doom Patrol feels so.
You know he watches that. Like at midnight.
Yeah, Doom Patrol is so Gunn adjacent. It's not even funny. Oh, that was what I was going to bring up when we started talking about animation.
Let's be honest.
Are you watching Harley Quinn? I imagine.
I am not caught up, but I enjoy it immensely. I am in season 2. It's just like something we throw on before bed, 1-2 episodes.
Bringing this up, Zaslav doesn't like animation. Well, you got James Gunn as your animation head. You got to figure it out. As far as I know, they have not canceled Doom Patrol. I know for a fact
Doom Patrol and Titans are not canceled. No HBO Max original has officially been canceled, including Young Justice.
Are we sure?
Has it not? I do not believe it. Like, after this news, I would like to reach out to James Gunn for comment.
Yeah. Wingblade does look a little different tonight, and higher energy levels.
Jeremy, you've been watching me on this screen for like 3 years, whether it was Schmodown bullshit or whatever. You know who I am. You know what I'm saying, though. Like, I would like to reach out to James Gunn. Definitely watched Young Justice, and he was
James
like,
Gunn's
"I'll pay them some shit to keep that going."
He's also in Harley Quinn.
Know what happens.
He's in multiple episodes of Harley Quinn.
That show is very like it. I think She-Hulk got away, but knew they could do some things because of things that were done in Harley Quinn. I believe like it. That's a parallel that I don't think is drawn enough. Is like She-Hulk, the Deadpool stuff is easy, but the way Harley Quinn is busting balls, for lack of a better term, of DC, she's doing the same thing to Marvel, and that's killing.
My hope is that Gunn is good, because I haven't seen him this big of a role. Obviously, good at officiating, like giving roles to people. Because, like I said, like, if he's a great producer and he's a great collaborator, I can't speak tonight, then that's awesome. But I don't need everything to be the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. There's stories that can be told with that flavor. But, Green Lantern, I would like to be something else. But I hope that he's so passionate for these characters and for the universe and for the comics and things that he's adamant about getting these stories out here and assigning them.
He's read the things.
That's it. Fair point.
That is a really reassuring fact that now,
James Gunn?
No, who directed the Batman? Matt
Reeves.
Yeah. Matt Reeves is way more excited about going to business meetings.
Right.
Like, wait, so I can do what with the Penguin?
Scout about saying.
So I guess I could get away with it's like James Gunn is the substitute teacher for people who give a shit about the DC universe, and he's going to allow them to come in there.
We got Polka Dot Man because of James Gunn.
Why not?
We got Polka Dot Man and we got Starro.
Dude, Greg Berlanti totally deserves a seat at the table. That guy has put in the work.
Is
At
it
least
not?
let him try to fuck up. If he fucks up, get him out.
Is
But
it
at
not
least let
Greg
him learn it.
Berlanti who was supposed to be spearheading the still not canceled Green Lantern HBO show? That's Greg Berlanti, isn't it?
So Berlanti's studio is producing. I do
Yeah.
not. He is not the lead producer on the
Okay.
show. But now, since it's shifted to John
His name-
Stewart, I give way more shits.
Sure. His name's also attached to Doom Patrol. So, we can
He's
talk
on
about
everything.
Yeah.
The
But it's
guy
also on
makes money every
Stargirl.
second. Do you know how much money his family is going to get from syndicated television?
Yeah.
Greg Berlanti is going to make more money than some NBA players off of Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Riverdale, residuals. Those checks are going to be sweet. And give him a movie.
So
I'd love to
here's
see any of them. Give him
here's what's-
Arrow. Give him Flash. Just give him a
Sure.
JSA movie. Give him the JSA movie.
here's what it's
Or
a
was
little funny.
Black Adam, the JSA movie. And
They bring James Gunn on, and he's got to be thinking to himself, well, Ezra's done all this and we're moving forward. I had a tweet from 10 years ago and I got fired off a project for like 3 months. It's a little funny. It's a
big come up.
Yeah.
It's a big fall and come up. I support it. It's a big week for James Gunn. The Hollywood, the holiday special trailer.
Okay, let's okay, I want to do one thing and then move on to trailer talk. But
Yes.
So animation, TV, and movies, right?
Yep.
I want you to say one project from each category that you want greenlit from James Gunn.
Okay, so
Don't have to go into details, just character.
I need a fourth thing. I need the Blue Beetle trailer like 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
Because I love Cobra Kai and I need more of that in my
Jaime
life.
Reyes is my boy. Speaking of Young Justice.
When he was on Trevor Noah the other day, holy shit, he is a professional. We're going to be watching that kid. I hope he doesn't get typecasted. I want him to do everything. I want him to do anything and everything forever. That kid is electric. Okay, so you said animated, television, and movies?
One project.
Of each. Okay, so movie that I want greenlit is... I want to see a really thought out... I wanted to see Batgirl really bad. I'm not gonna lie. The promise of Batgirl on its own, with the production staff behind it.
It's funny. They say they still want to work with Leslie Grace and the directors, and I was like, that's cute that you want that. Will they ever work with you again,
bro? Like I had just seen In the Heights. I was like, we're good here. Like this is gonna smack. There's no way this doesn't suck.
And Brendan Fraser.
The fact that movie exists, you and I will be 55-ish years old, right? And then some internet sleuth or North Korea will be like, we hacked the WB servers. Guess what we got? Remember the Batgirl? And we're all going to watch the Batgirl when we're 55. And we're like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, it'll be like when we finally got around to watching the Cormac Fantastic Four? Is that who directed it?
Oh, exactly. It'll be
bootleg.
that.
Yeah.
It'll be that.
We'll find it on Pirate Bay.
Bootleg USB drive that comes in, and you're like, "Oh my god, do I still have a laptop that has a USB drive?"
Before I lose my train of thought, I will give you my movie and TV, and then you can do TV and animation.
Go.
Okay, movie. Just real quick. I'm obsessed with Green Lantern. I love it. It's one of my favorite DC characters. I want to see it done. Really, honestly, most of them. I love Hal Jordan for reasons. I love Jon Stewart for reasons. I would like to have
the idea of a core for a show.
Exactly.
And you have to focus on one for a film.
And I think you could have Jon Stewart lead the core show.
Easy.
And then have like
a film.
Yeah, or a film. Either way, and have Hal Jordan somewhere else.
Because I don't know John's origin like I know Hal's. I just know John as being Green Lantern in the Justice
I remember
League
when there was
animated.
supposed to be the core movie was supposed to be an older Hal Jordan team, like a buddy cop with Jon Stewart. I wanted that really bad. Anyways, so
I think the better buddy cop show is Jon Stewart and Guy Gardner.
Maybe, and I'm cool with that too. Honestly, just the world of Oa
I'd like
and the
to
space
see
stuff.
Older John with young whippersnapper Guy Gardner.
You're the only person I think that I can talk to about the Green Lantern animated show, right?
Oh my god, what a goated show!
It's so good. Okay, that aside, so Green Lantern. That's my movie.
Experimental animation, by the way.
TV's super easy for me. And I'm curious to see what happens with J.J. Abrams and where he's going. He wasn't necessarily my pick for this, but he's the one attached to it currently. I need Justice League Dark. I need them to set it up. I need them to do it. Every time they introduce any characters within the Justice League Dark like sphere, they blow it.
Werewolf by Night, Justice League Dark.
One's Marvel,
I
one's
would
DC.
shit a chicken. Like,
are you talking about crossing over?
No, in like the theme. Like if somebody had
yeah.
balls to take 80 minutes to tell just like a John Constantine led.
Okay, the Swamp Thing show, incredible. The Constantine show, incredible. One was canceled before it premiered, and one was canceled halfway through. And
then one got shoved into another show because he was so damn good. They just had to keep
another show, every animated incarnation, a CW Seed animated show. Matt Ryan has been the goated Constantine for a while. But and then they were trying to introduce, they had the Dr. Fate helmet in that show. They're introducing the Spectre. Like, don't get me started on the Constantine show. So Justice League Dark, build your universe through HBO Max. That's what I want television wise. I'll leave animation to the side for a second. I'll let you do TV and animation. Go ahead.
You can do a Justice League Dark show with Matt Ryan leading it, and it's in the tone of Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
42-minute episodes.
They also canceled Zatanna. That was supposed to happen.
I love her.
Yeah.
And that's my pick. That was my pick for animation.
Oh, for animation, animated Zatanna show or movie?
A show. A show. I think would be great. I think like what we saw in Young Justice of Zatanna when they were getting into everything with Dr. Fate and all that came with that.
Unfortunately for Black Adam,
she just kind of pops up in Young Justice, and she's already like full blown Zatanna, and you're like, I want to see that shit. I don't want to see Villain of the Week Flash Zatanna or whatever showed up in Arrow, right? Like top of the hat, whatever, like fake magic. I want to see full blown into the mysticism, like kind of what Doctor Strange did in diverting into a completely different realm of Marvelism. Zatanna can do that for DCism in a more approachable way, maybe, than just being like, Dr. Fate is a millennium-year-old spirit that is in this helmet, and you must understand, right? Like, it's not. That's not really approachable.
I'm not going to spoil Black Adam, but I'll tell you that they did jack shit for that character.
Did Smallville do a better job?
No, I don't think so.
They're on the same track.
Yeah. Unfortunately for
trying.
Unfortunately for DC, is their like animation side of things, whether it be show or movies, is so strong that I don't think they realize the bar that's been set that is not being met by the movies. I remember 2016 when the Suicide Squad movie came out. I had seen Assault on Arkham. I was like, that's a Suicide Squad movie.
That's the movie. I'd already seen it. I was like, that's literally, just make that movie. I would watch the fuck out of that movie.
Absolutely. And they knew to make...
Not frame for frame. Just make it frame for frame. Easy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I said that. Oh my God, I said that years ago before I was even podcasting. I was like, I've seen this movie.
One of these days, we're going to have a speakeasy maybe or something where it's just you and me waxing poetic about like the DC animated universe.
God, movies, I could do it for hours, man. I could watch that shit all the time.
So animated was Zatanna. What's your show pick? We haven't done a show for you, I think, right?
No, show would definitely be like, I love Titans for like what it is. I get it. I understand the concept.
Young Justice live action TV show.
It's got to be it.
Yeah.
I love following Dick Grayson. There's something about Dick Grayson to me that's stuck with me since I was a kid.
Something about Dick.
There's something about Dick, regardless of what he's wearing, that I will watch it regardless. There's something about the kid who is trying to follow in his adopted father's
footsteps. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. There's a lot of movies.
We could totally do it. I would do it. We Patreon that shit.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of, so we are at about 830 some subscribers currently. When we get to 1,000, that'll be ads and monetization, which is cool for us. But that also seems like a good spot to start Patreon. So if you guys can help share this around, tell your friends about it. When we get to 1,000, we'll start Patreon. And then special watch-alongs, things like that are very doable in the near future. I feel like you ever get those eyebrows that are like going diagonally towards your eye, and you're just like, get out of here.
Yep.
All right. So with that, we're at 30 minutes. It's time. Well, real quick, just because we gotta save the best for last. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special trailer thoughts. You don't have to go into it. Kevin Bacon. Loved it. Great.
Introducing Kevin Bacon.
It was fun.
Incredible stuff. I thought it was so cute. I cannot wait for the Marvel Assembled of Mantis and Drax walking around Hollywood Boulevard, and James Gunn and the crew are like, oh, fuck yeah, we're just going to do this. This is going to be nothing. Yeah, this will be fine. And it's just them walking around L.A.
And we got...
yeah, we'll film this in L.A. and shoot it on the volume. It'll be real easy.
First of all, that's a good way to get booted out of this chat.
All right. Well, hold on. Listen, man, you're a great guest, all things considered, but only one person was ever entrusted with the ability to lead the Justice League by Superman.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say take the mantle of the bat. I was like, well, Azrael had it for a minute.
Only one person has ever been told by Clark Kent that they are worthy of leading the Justice League in his stead, and it is Dick Grayson.
Right. Oh, animation Red Hood. I would love to see Jason Todd done properly in any medium, really, outside of that first Red Hood movie. That was perfect. Honestly, the movie's better than the comic.
I was a fan of the first few Jason Todd beating the shit out of people in front of Dick Grayson and him seeing the other side of himself.
Yeah.
I am a fan of that.
Uh-oh, we slipped back into DC. All right, we got to get to Quantumania before we... Oh, we're excited for the holiday special. It looks great. It's cool. I have my reaction on the channel.
A Marvel special presentation.
Yeah, we love that. More of those. Just not too much more. You know what I'm saying? Quantumania, this is all you, man. This is your moment. You've been waiting for this for over a year.
All right, so listen here, folks. We're all done. All right, dude is coming. Bruh's been snuck in here. There's a shot in the trailer. We're talking about Quantumania. Shot in the trailer that should really grasp everybody's attention. Weird, circly, cloudy things in the sky. And Janet Van Dyne is chilling in the quantum realm. And she looks up and she sees a ship breaking apart. That is Kang accidentally coming in to the quantum realm. He's going to get stuck. And she maybe had a hand in it. Maybe she took out Miss Minutes or some shit like that.
Somebody just watched Eric Voss.
Okay, so my main theory for this whole thing. We're going to get into Theory Corner. We got 12 minutes left. I'm counting down. I see the thing in the corner. MODOK has stolen the time chair. And I need your help to get it back. And, man, 45 minutes into the movie. That last scene of the trailer, 45 minutes into the movie, we got to go kick MODOK's ass. The scene in the trailer where Wasp and Ant-Man are, holding each other full suited. There's red electricity, kind of off to the side. That's not Kang at all. That's some MODOK shit. So MODOK's got the chair.
How do you feel about MODOK potentially being Darren Cross?
I don't care. It's fine. Cool. Listen, I don't give a shit. It's
Back
MODOK.
To Kang.
Cool. He's a means to an end. I watched the MODOK show. That's the most MODOK you're gonna get. They're not gonna. You got MODOK and Winter Soldier. If you were cool with homeboy fascist being in a TV screen.
Toby Jones as
you're cool with Toby Jones being the fascist in the computer screen. That's your MODOK. Cool.
No, MODOK is the Avengers game. You can shit on a game all you want, but that's how
cool.
MODOK's
That was a cool game. Bruh's head got big. Way big. I honestly don't want to see that. Like the brainy version. That's some weird shit. We kind of already saw that at the end of Incredible Hulk. But back to Quantumania. Yeah. Kang is literally going to kill all these people. His army is so big in Chronopolis, it's disgusting. That is Chronopolis. Then, oh my God. When you see the rings floating around the thing, we are in Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes territory, folks. This is what has come to fruition. Everything in that show has happened.
Just a reminder, if you want a Jesse and Colin watch along for Earth's Mightiest Heroes,
I will literally do that. Pound the like button Get this to 42 likes, and I'll do the first episode by myself, and I will sing the opening theme song every single time.
Please mute the theme song and just sing it
If
karaoke.
it's released on Patreon, I will not mute it. If it is released on YouTube, mute it.
Perfect.
But it will be me dubbing it. So, like, we'll watch the episode, and I'll just be dubbing it. And it'll just be me mouthing it along. But
That's
everything in that show, the Kang storyline of that show, I think is what, if you want to look at that.
Again, animation setting the bar for live action again.
And the Kang, what is the new Kang story?
Dynasty?
Kang Dynasty, yeah. The Kang Dynasty storyline in the latest Avengers run. That stuff and Earth's Mightiest Heroes are where you need to be looking. Something has been taken, and I think it's the time chair. And Kang.
What about Ravonna? Does she come into this, or we don't see her until Loki, maybe?
I don't know if this Kang is worried about Ramona. Ravonna.
Okay.
Sorry, Ravonna.
Ravonna.
Ravonna Renslayer. Yeah.
That's so Raven. Oh,
that's so Ravonna. Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I don't think that this is what they're... Because you know what makes me think they're not going to do that is the Thanos story in the comics was courting death.
Sure.
And they went away from that and tried to find some other meaning behind it and tried to not warp it, but meld it into something that could be more theatrical.
Marvel has frequently, and call it blasphemy, they have frequently, I think, improved upon comic book stories.
Oh, absolutely. Why would you not?
I think Civil War as a film is more engaging than the comic book story was because the comic book is one-sided. The comic book is Tony's a dickhead, Cap is right.
Yep.
Now, in my opinion, Cap is still right, but you see Tony.
You at least have a better understanding of where Tony's coming from, because if we're being honest, Tony Stark, the comic book character, is not as lovable, or at least as relatable as Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. And really, Iron Man's biggest come up was Civil War.
This is for you, Colin.
Oh, come on. Quantum bands, quantum realm. Quantum bands are going to be in the Marvels. Easy. 10 rings. That shit all looks weird. And what did they say in that Shang-Chi post-credits scene?
They don't know where it's from.
A signal to outer space. And we say in this trailer, I got a theory for you that might break your brain.
Break it. Crush it.
After this. That all of this 10 rings, the signal, whatever Cassie makes. You guys think Cassie made that? Oh no, you poor schmucks.
Oh, talk to me.
Iron Lad made that. Her friend made that.
Her friend Nathaniel Richards?
Her friend Nathaniel Richards made that. That is my theory. And she says we. Who the fuck is we? Her dad? Absolutely not.
I gotta tell you, like that, it could be a little out there, but like I got goosebumps from it. That is a wild theory that I like.
That is a very well shot trailer. Okay, it is a very well shot trailer, and there is only one shot that shows every person in that room wide at one time, and is when they're all being pushed against the wall and then all holding on. Okay, I have not done a full deep dive look at that one shot, but that is the only shot of them wide in that room. When Cassie says we, who is we?
So then do you think do you think Nathaniel Richards time traveled to that point in time then? Because Nathaniel Richards does not read son. He's like great. So he would have had to but do we think it's teenager, like you said, Iron Lad?
Right? I believe it is the teenage version of whatever Kang we're dealing with I do not believe it is the teenage version of this Kang. I believe if it is Nathaniel Richards, young Iron Lad, it is the Iron Lad of Kang Dynasty that we will be dealing with. I'm still not convinced that this is the Kang.
I also think that this is going to tee up that they're going to go through some traumatic stuff, stop Kang, and it's going to end with another Kang, another variant, because he's this unstoppable object that just exists in all times.
It's
and
over.
That's it. And if every
you
time
think Thanos was inevitable, you don't know shit.
I'm just imagining the time heist amplified, like the quantum travel from Endgame amplified times 100, and watch the Avengers going through all these different, like, where can we get to stop Kang? And every time they get to a point in time, Kang's waiting for them at every drop of the hat, and they just keep going farther back, farther forward, all over in time, and Kang always has one up on him. Dude, Dynasty could be ridiculous.
Dynasty is definitely going to be my favorite Marvel movie of all time.
That's going to be.
Because Kang wins. I know Kang is going to win. It's going to be the Infinity War of this saga. And Kang will be left standing, gloriously floating, with his cool mask that leaves dope scars on his face. Oh, yeah. Finish him.
Finish him.
You can't. You think you finish him every time.
Well, it's much like Mortal Kombat. You know,
are we going to see Immortus? Where's Immortus going to show up?
You rip somebody's spine out, and then they're back for the next round. That's going to be Kang.
Boom.
Boom. There's so many things I'm hoping for.
Oh my god, I'm so ready for this, dude. Like when I saw him floating down on the little like.
Here's the thing: we don't usually plan this far ahead of time, but you're a popular guy, man. I got to book you when it comes to Quantumania opening night. You got to come on here for the review right after the movie.
Oh yeah,
this is the spot. We're gonna do it
that week. Oh my god, I'm so ready for that. I've already bought tickets that aren't released yet. I bought the whole theater out already because I need to be alone.
Brent's asking if we're going to get Wakanda Forever reaction post-release that night. So we've already talked about it. We're seeing it at different times. So I think I'm seeing it the latest, which is 7:30 PST. But we're all going to convene after the movie on stream, and we're going to do, for the first night, I believe, a spoiler-free review. And then I'm seeing it a second time the next day. And then we'll probably do a spoiler review that night instead of Speakeasy. Something like that.
I am seeing
2 weeks away
before I go to my cousin's wedding. I'm seeing the 10:30 showing on Friday morning and to go to a 4:00 wedding.
4:00 wedding. Is that going to be a overnight situation? Or are you going to be back later at night?
No, it's here in town.
Well,
depending on how fucked up I am.
I was going to say, depending on what time it is and stuff, maybe you can come for the spoiler talk because you'll be fresh out.
Oh my god, I'll come. Oh man, I don't even know what to expect. All I've seen is just people like bring your tissue boxes, and I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I do that to every Marvel movie anyway.
Oh, I saw Greg Alba from Real Rejects looked like he was still crying when he came out of the movie.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell if he hated it or if he was just so sad. Like he just looked so sad on the thumbnail. I was like,
he just kept saying it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
Sheesh.
All right. Well, we're right about at that 45-minute mark. Is there any last minute things you got to get out about Quantumania, Kang?
No, the Iron Lad theory is kind of like
that's your hill.
I'm gonna die on that post. I think that's what I'm sticking with. I think that this is our Young Avengers. This is our Young Avengers issue 1. Like Cassie has the suit. That's the thing. She has a suit when they're in the quantum realm.
So she's stature.
She has that on already.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's already going to be stature when we see her in this film. So could the Young Avengers be the first 15 minutes of this film?
And are we going to get
the first 5 minutes of this film going to be Janet in the quantum realm in the past dealing with a young Kang? And then we go to Jonathan Majors later in the film And then, but before we have to cut back to a story that will eventually connect us to what we saw in the prelude, which is every Marvel movie ever. And that will be Young Avengers. Wow, look at this cool thing we made. Let me take it to Hank Pym, the smartest dude on the planet, and see what he thinks. Oh, yeah, and Bill Murray.
Right, and Bill
Murray, I think, is just going to be the politician that is like the front for Kang, that like makes people of Chronopolis not wonder why they're in this hellscape.
There's lots of good questions in here. Yeah, we don't have time to wrap up. We don't have time to get to all the questions.
We could totally get Billy and Tommy if they're all just hanging around Titan's Tower.
That would be fascinating. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna do anything special with Bill Murray. I think they're gonna let it lie. And we also have to keep in mind that the general public, the people that drive movie tickets, don't know what's going on with celebrities. Like, there's gonna be a lot of people that watch The Flash that don't know what the Ezra Miller situation is. Anyways, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Colin. I appreciate you being on here, man. I had a blast, and you just reminded me that we got to have you on more so we can talk exclusively animation. We need an animation corner. There's not a lot of animation representation.
I watch anime. I watch animation. I wake up on Saturday mornings. I watch My Hero Academia. Like I wake up. It's like my Saturday morning cartoons. But now the cartoons I watch are scaring the fuck out of me before I go to bed. So like I'm watching like Chainsaw Man. Is anybody watching Chainsaw Man in the chat? Like Chainsaw Man is next level anime.
Oh, not anime, but animation that has some creepy fun stuff in it. Over the Garden Wall. It's Halloween.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Gotta watch it on Hulu. Gotta watch that stuff. What was I gonna say? Okay, so two things. Watch more anime, watch more animation, everybody out there. Also, freaking watch that's a background. I thought it was an overlay. Anyways, watch Andor. It's so good.
Is it the best show of all time?
I think it's the best Star
It is the best Star Wars television that has ever been done. It might be the best. The Eye might be the best Star Wars I've ever seen. It was Rogue One in 45 minutes. Sean, hi. Yes, Sean, I did watch Tales of the Jedi. Binged it all in one sitting. It is the perfect companion to Dave Filoni animation. I absolutely loved it. It is so good. Like there are moments with Ahsoka where it's like you've seen so much Ahsoka that you're just happy to see her again. But with the Count Dooku stuff, it's new, it's fresh. They're adding more, and it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Dave Filoni is in his bag again. He's like, give me 6 episodes. I don't need 22.
In short, more animation, right?
More animation on this channel.
Absolutely. More, yeah. Everyone consume more animation. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Keep it real. We'll catch you on the next video. Colin, it's been a blast.
Steve?